How do we get better? Well, that's what we're going to talk about for today's 5-Minute Focus. Proverbs 15:32 says, if you reject discipline, you only harm yourself. But if you listen to correction, you grow in understanding.
That is so wise, and that can change our lives. But isn't it one of the hardest things to do?
Definitely is. Nobody likes the feeling of discipline. Nobody likes to be corrected and to be pointed out, man, this is an area that you should grow. And so,
yeah, like discipline, being corrected, saying you can do that better.
Yep.
That wasn't good enough. You did that wrong. You failed in this area.
I think especially when it's character related things, that's when it really hurts.
So what is our normal? I think this is all of us. What's our normal response right away when somebody says, you know what, you missed the mark on that one?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
I didn't.
You just didn't understand where I was coming from. Isn't our first response to defend ourselves? Come on, definitely. We all do. Defend ourselves. Wait a minute. No. You saw it wrong. You didn't see that wrong. And maybe sometimes you did. So how in the world can we accept correction and become better? How do we do that? That's so hard.
I think it starts with, if anybody's been through a 12-step program, what's step one? Yeah. Admit that there's something wrong. We got to be honest with ourselves and say that there's always room for me to get better, right? There's in my job, in my character, with my family, and my parenting.
Even though I might be better at it than you, and I'm better at it than you.
Yep.
Even though we may think, well, come on, we do. Most of us think, well, I'm pretty good at this, and I got this handled. Even if we're better than other people, there's always room for improvement.
For sure. To never think that we're done growing, we're the best we can be, we can all get better. And so I think that's got to be the first step, because otherwise we'll just continue to be defensive, continue to push people away, right?
And again, not to say the person criticizing, well, I'm better than you. We have to get past that.
What does that matter?
Can I improve? Not compared to them, but can I improve? Yes, I can improve. We all have to admit, I can grow in this area. Number one.
I think the second thing is this, when this proverb was written, is the assumption that people are going to tell us things that can correct us. And I think, unfortunately, we've probably pushed away most people that are going to offer discipline or correction or advice or suggestions because we get so defensive. So, number two is just being open to that, right?
It is.
Inviting that criticism, even though it's painful, inviting that in, asking, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about the way I parent? Oh, boy, that's a tough one.
We all have radar. We do in our personal relationships. We all know, who can I go to and say, you know what, I think you could do that better, or, you know what, a little criticism. We know people because people are open or closed to criticism. Yep. How do people know if you are open or closed to criticism? Is how you respond when you're, when they're trying to help you and learn. If we have that, what we talked about earlier, if we have that response that just says, no, not me, and it's defensive, you miss the, people aren't going to come. They're not. So what can we do to invite criticism into our lives?
I think people are going to read it on your face.
They're going to know.
Right away. Your facial expression, your body posture, the tone in your voice, the first 10 seconds are going to set whether they ever give you
So if we don't have people in our lives coming to us with criticism, we all admit we can get better. Now we are to be open to criticism. How can we get people to give us constructive criticism in our life? We have to ask, hey, what did you think about this? And then be quiet. Be quiet.
Don't react.
Listen. After we listen, people will know, wow, that person really listens. They want to grow. After we listen and we chew on it, what's the third thing we have to do?
I think the third thing is to find whatever element of truth that they say. In whatever they, give you advice, whatever they criticize, look for that element of truth. Because sometimes part of what people say is just going to be they've been hurt, or maybe you did something wrong that affected them. We're not going to get away from that human element.
Right.
But there is always an element of truth in there, right?
There is. And, we're dealing with human beings. And a lot of criticism comes out of people's own hurt or their own comparison, or they think they're better. So we need to be mature enough to, as we're open and we ask and we listen, chew on it afterwards and say, what was really valuable there?
Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater right away.
There is almost always an element of truth that we can learn from, even from our enemies, even from people who, are jealous of us or who want to see us fail. Totally. There's still an element of truth. So we can all learn, we can all get better.
We can.
By listening to and having people correct us, discipline us, add to what we do. And really, we all can get better in our lives. It's our decision.
If you reject discipline, you only harm yourself. Yes. But if you listen to correction, you grow in understanding. So think about that this week, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, we really hope that this video was helpful for you. If you'd like to stay up to date on our weekly content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on that little bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded. And if you'd like to support the ministries here at Access Church and help make videos like this possible, there'll be a link in the description below. As always, we appreciate your partnership in helping us draw people into a growing relationship with God through Jesus Christ.